All right.
That scene was right here Tuesday at the intersection of Highway 43 and South Industrial Park Drive. Video shows Dean Terrico having no sign of stopping.
Your common sense tells you something had to have happened, medically or otherwise, to cause this driver to go through this intersection.
But police say the investigation shows Dean Terrico having no sign of stopping.
Your common sense tells you something had to have happened, medically or otherwise, to cause this driver to go through this intersection.
But police say the investigation says otherwise.
No, there wasn't nothing wrong with that man.
Mayor Sheldon Day hopes to figure out what training Dean Terrico needed to drive a semi-truck in the U.S. and what it took to get his CDL certification. The mayor says the crash was due to pure negligence.
Knowing that 2 people lost their lives and other people got injured, and the devastation is caused in this area, we need to get to the bottom of this. And I know that the investigative team is going to leave no stone unturned until they do that.
Mayor Day says the black box in the truck has been obtained, and if the investigation reveals the truck was going faster than the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit, charges could be upgraded. In Thomasville, Haley Kennedy, WKRG News. In the truck has been
Hold on a minute. Speed. Slow way down. Turn the volume down. Let's just see here. God damn. God damn. He just had a moment of, fuck it all. God damn. Stop. Do it again. Here, speed, slow. Let's see, so it's 1, 2, 3 cars didn't have a shot. This guy just got lucky. This car wasn't paying attention, or they should have hit the shoulder, even went in the grass if they had to. Because the fact that the driver didn't hit the grass meant that he just said, fuck it all. Damn, I fucked that up, didn't I? Move this out the way. All right, here we go. And slow and damn, bro. God damn, bro. Man, he didn't even hit the brakes. Did he hit the brakes? Hold on. Let's do everything. All right, okay.
The team is gonna leave no stone unturned until they do that.
Mayor Day says the black box in the truck has been obtained, and if the investigation reveals the truck was going faster than the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit,
no brakes.
The investigative team is gonna leave no stone unturned until they do that.
Mayor Day says the black box in the truck has been obtained, and if the investigation reveals the truck was going faster than the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit, charges could be upgraded. And Thomas in the truck has been obtained, and if the investigation reveals the truck was going faster than the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit, charges...
The investigative team is going to leave no stone unturned until they do that.
Mayor Day says the black box in the truck has been obtained, and if the investigation reveals the truck was going faster than the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit, charges could be upgraded.
Now, I've been driving a long time, and I can tell you, he didn't even hit the brakes. Looks like he accelerated. And that black box they're talking about is going to tell the story. It can tell you whether or not the foot was on the brake pedal or the gas pedal. Or looks like he just said, fuck it. Hold on a minute.
Industrial Park Drive. Video shows Dean Terrico having no sign of stopping.
Common sense tells you something had to have happened medically or otherwise to cause this driver to go through this intersection.
But police say the investigation says otherwise.
No, there wasn't nothing wrong with that man.
Mayor Sheldon Day hopes to figure out what training Dean Terrico needed to drive a semi-truck in the U.S. and what it took to get his CDL certification. The mayor says the crash was due to pure negligence.
Knowing that 2 people lost their lives and other people got injured, and the devastation is caused in this area, we need to get to the bottom of this. And I know that the investigative team is going to leave no stone unturned until they do that.
Mayor Day says the black box in the truck has been obtained, and if the investigation reveals the truck was going faster than the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit, charges could be upgraded. In Thomasville, Haley Kennedy, WKRG News 5. In the truck has been obtained, and if the investigation reveals the truck was going faster than the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit, charges could be upgraded. In Thomasville, Haley Kennedy, WKRG News 5.
I want to know more about, does it say, 4 vehicles. Hold on a minute. Taji had a better damn description than that. Where'd Taji go? Taji, there she is. Hold on.
Link to that will be in the description.
No, it's not. And that's another thing. The video to it was not in the description. That's why I had to go look for it. It's not in the description, Taji. Okay, Miss Taji, it's not in the description. Do you see the video in the description? No. Okay, hold on a minute. I don't want to accuse you of some shit. What about in the comment section? Is it in the comment section? No. No, I don't see the original video in the comment section. So no, you didn't put it in the comment section. But I do want to check out your description because you are pretty thorough. A former truck driver of U.S. Freight, for U.S. Freight, is currently in custody on charges of vehicular manslaughter. Ashton McDonald, 37, man. Woody Beck, damn. So far, 1 lawsuit has been filed by Nancy Calvert. Court records show that this was a distracted... No, it can't be distracted driving because he didn't even put his foot on the brakes. So it can't be distracted driving. I mean, at some point when you hit somebody, the first car, he would have put his foot on the brakes. He didn't. He accelerated. So, despite speculation, this was not an accident. When interrogated by the first responders, he spoke little English, along with his co-driver. Oh, shit. The presence of a non-English speaking truck driver, yada, 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 yada. Okay, All right, well, hold on. Wait a minute. I want to know. Okay, 1 hour for Taji, but what I want to know is. Hold on. Put his name in here. Okay, 9 days ago. Okay, so this happened. Okay, 9 days ago. Court record, document reveal would cause Thomas. I don't know what that is. Really? Okay.
Well, Roseanne, according to the complaint, Andrew DeMico was trying to answer his cell phone as he approached stopped traffic at the red light on Highway 43.
Andrew Majurgo was charged with 2 counts of vehicular homicide for allegedly killing 2 and injuring 4 people in Thomasville Tuesday. According to the complaint, Majurgo was trying to answer his phone when the light on Highway 43 at South Industrial Parkway was red. Woody Beck III and Ashley Springer were killed in the crash. Since the crash, investigators have obtained the black box in the semi-truck, and Majurgo, who is in the United States on a workway, was red. Woody Beck III and Ashley Springer were killed in the crash. Since the crash...
Okay.
Investigators have up trying to answer his phone when the light on Highway 43 at South Industrial Parkway was red. Woody Beck III and Ashley Springer were killed in the crash. Since the crash, investigators have obtained the black box in the semi-truck, and Majergo, who is in the United States on a work visa, has been put on an immigration hold. Several federal and state agencies are now assisting in the investigation.
Investigators say
No. Hold on. Okay. If your immigration status has been put on hold, okay. I wonder what that means. Hold on. Are they going to say what that means?
Black box should be able to tell them if Majerko was speeding as he approached the red light. He still remains in the Clark County Jail on a $100,000 bond. Reporting in the studio tonight, Jeremy Jones, WKRG News 5.
Put the kid down!
Stop. Okay. Anything else on it? 9 days ago, 10 days ago. They want you to know he's on a work visa. If they come down on these work visas, oh my God, a lot of people are in trouble because what they're doing now is some of these immigrants are going to college, going to school, thinking that's going to save them. That ain't going to save you. Because, I would ask the question, just me now. If you've been here for 40 years, my question is, as a permanent resident, you had the option all along to apply for U.S. citizen. The fact that you didn't do it, to me, that indicates that maybe you're not happy here. Seriously. That indicates you might not be applying for U.S. citizenship for a reason. Now, what are those reasons? I do not know. I was trying to think, was it for tax purposes? I don't know. Do they not have to pay as much tax? I don't know. I don't know how that goes. Maybe they pay less taxes or something, and they get preferential treatment for employment. Because, as a veteran, I know we get preferences for jobs. If we say it, if we admit that we are veterans, right, or we have been in the military, we get certainly at job service, any jobs. You go to any employment office and you say you're a veteran, whoop, you go to the top of the list. Well, I'm sure there are tax grants. Now, this is what nobody talks about. The grants for hiring certain individuals, right? There's like $5,000 grant. Who is that? Carol Fulmer, Pascal Truck Lines. There's a couple companies that I work for that was their hustle. They replaced an entire fleet of trucks and a half a fleet of trailers at Pascal Truck Lines, just playing the hiring and firing game. 2 hiring classes of 40 drivers apiece, twice a week, $5,000 per hire. That's a lot of money. That's like 2 brand new trucks paid for per week. That's a lot of money, bro. So you got to fit in certain categories. You are a permanent resident. Are you a minority? Or were you previously on welfare? Or are you, when you say minority, that means a lot. Are you foreign national? Are you a female? Are you a African American? Are you a minority? It opens up. Are you a veteran? It opens up a whole area of $5,000 grants per hire. So just think about that, right? So that may be one of the reasons why a permanent resident would not apply for U.S. citizenship. But now it's almost too late. I'm sure it's really hard to apply for U.S. citizenship now. It's probably real hard. People probably can't wait for Trump to get out of office. I got news for you. The way he's rearranging things, when he gets out of office, things are not going to just pop back into place the way they used to be. No. Sometimes when they mess things up, it may take a decade to return things back to the way they were. And sometimes things never go back to the way they were. And I just want to say that. So if you've been here for 40 years and you think when Trump gets out of office, you can just all of a sudden get your ass in gear and apply for U.S. citizenship, there might be such a thing as too late. So I'm just saying. Anyway, those are my thoughts for the moment. I'm just thinking about this, the fact that you don't speak English. How are you going to read a digital sign? And again, I had this argument with T. Hill. I'm thinking, okay, what are you talking about? He's like, well, if you went to Japan, you would be able to memorize the signs and shit. I said, no. I mean, even as an American, I can memorize the colors and the shapes and answer a question about the color and shapes of signs, what they might mean if the sign is yellow or if it is orange for construction or something like that. But the reality is, you still have to be able to read the words on the signs. You do, because what if it says, a digital sign says detour ahead? You got to know where the detour begins when it is, or Interstate 37 closed at exit so-and-so, so-and-so. So now you got to go online and figure out how to go around this closed interstate. And now your GPS might not catch all that. So I'm just saying, and if it does, it might take you down a route you're not supposed to be on. So, or even better yet, say you're in Wyoming, and them signs, the great big humongous digital signs saying 60-mile-an-hour winds at such and such a time Wednesday night, or storm coming up tomorrow night starting at 8 p.m., 65-mile-an-hour winds, no high-profile vehicles will be allowed, all this shit. If you can't read English, you can't read them signs. Now just think about that for a minute, right? How many people went down mountains, Happy Jack Mountain, outside of, Laramie, Wyoming or some shit, right? Or the two sister mountains. How many people had accidents going those mountains because they couldn't read a digital sign, didn't know what was happening? Bad storm coming, and they didn't understand. So I disagree with the fact that you don't need to learn some English. I think you need to learn some English. You may not need to be proficient in English, as Asia Maya was saying, but you need to know something. I mean, shit. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. There's nothing. What about the last day or two? Nothing. The last week. How about that? No, they're just saying he answered the phone. And then Taji reported today. Taji is pretty smart. I like your channel, by the way, Taji. But anyway, those are my thoughts for the moment. I don't know. Wait a minute. You tell me. Hold on. Let's hold on. Let's go back to, hold on. This month apply.
We're glad you're here. The big story from Ukraine, now in the Clark County Jail, charged with
He's from Ukraine. You can't make this stuff up. Sometimes you wonder, is this a movie we're watching? The man's from Ukraine.
Truck driver for U.S. transportation company. Dean Terrico in the U.S. on a work visa from Ukraine. Now in the Clark County Jail, charged with 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter.
But they're going to pay. We can't bring the loved ones back that were lost yesterday, but we can simply make the ones responsible pay.
The crash killing 37-year-old Ashley Marie Springer McDonald, a single mom of 2, and Wilcox County football coach, 53-year-old Woody Beck.
All they did was they just stopped at a red light. It could have happened to anybody.
That scene was right here Tuesday at the intersection of Highway 43 and South Industrial Park Drive. Video shows Dean Terrico having no sign of stopping.
Common sense tells you.
That scene was right here Tuesday at the intersection of Highway 43 and South Industrial Park Drive. Video shows Dean.
Stop. I'm going to slow this down and I'm going to zoom in and see if I can see some brake. I didn't see no brake lights. Maybe you can see some brake lights. I'm going to turn this volume down because it's going to be... Okay. I'm looking for brake lights. No brake lights. Look. No brake lights. No brake lights. No brake lights, man. You know what that means? I don't care if he was answering his phone or not. At some point, if you hit the first car right? How did they know he was answering his phone? Okay. I wonder if there are cameras on this. I don't know. But, I don't know. I didn't see no brake lights. And I'm going to zoom in again. I'm looking for brake lights on this damn. All right. I don't see no brake lights. I don't see no brake lights. He's done. He's done, bro. They're going to get him for murder. He's done. He didn't put his brake lights on. He didn't put his brake lights on once. Anyway, those are my thoughts for a moment. I just want to talk about it just for 21 minutes. Oh, goddamn, that's too long. Okay.